Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans, you need to lock in for this one, because what just unfolded has sent shockwaves straight through Cowboys Nation and across the entire NFL landscape. This isn't one of those ordinary postgame breakdowns. This is a story layered with controversy, emotional reactions, officiating decisions that change the flow of a crucial matchup, and serious implications for the rest of the season. What happened on that field wasn't just about yards and touchdowns. It was about momentum, belief, frustration, and the fragile balance between winning and watching control slip away. The Cowboys stepped into a pivotal battle against the Detroit Lions with everything on the line, and what followed has left fans debating, analysts dissecting, and players visibly shaken. The fallout from this game is still unfolding, and tonight we're diving deep into every angle of it. Welcome back to the channel, where Dallas Cowboys news never sleeps and every single day brings you the latest updates, real reactions, and in-depth breakdowns straight from the heart of Cowboys Nation. This is your daily home for everything Cowboys. No delays, no fluff, just the stories that matter when they matter most. Today's topic has ignited conversations everywhere because this wasn't just another tough loss or a bad matchup. It was a game that turned on a few moments that now define the narrative surrounding this team, this quarterback, and this season. From the opening drives to the most disputed flags, this is one of those games that fans will remember far longer than the final score. The stage was set in Detroit with both teams hungry for control and momentum. The Cowboys came in knowing they needed consistency, especially on offense, and all season long the spotlight has never strayed far from Dak Prescott. He's been the emotional and tactical heartbeat of this team, delivering big-time throws one week and battling pressure the next. The season has been a roller coaster, filled with explosive stretches and frustrating stalls, and this matchup against the Lions felt like a chance for Dallas to stabilize their identity. Early on, it was clear the fight was real. Every snap felt tense, every drive carried weight, and the game quickly developed into a grind instead of a shootout. When the Cowboys found themselves trailing 10-6, the feeling in the air was urgency mixed with belief that one big play could swing everything. That moment seemed to arrive when CeeDee Lamb hauled in a major reception that instantly flipped the energy of the game. The sideline came alive. You could feel the surge of confidence in the offense. The Cowboys were finally pushing the ball with rhythm, moving with purpose, and hunting for the lead. The crowd noise swelled, the defense was feeding off the offense, and for the first time in the game, momentum clearly leaned in Dallas' direction. Then came the flag. Out of nowhere, in the middle of what looked like a promising drive, tight end Jake Ferguson was hit with an offensive pass interference call that completely erased the play. The ruling shocked the sideline and stopped the drive cold. What had been a building comeback instantly became a brutal setback. From Dak Prescott's perspective, the play unfolded cleanly. Under pressure, he made the smart decision to dump the ball off to Ferguson, trusting his strength and positioning. Instead of a positive gain, the Cowboys were suddenly staring at a massive loss of yardage, 16 yards wiped away in an instant. The entire tone of the drive changed. What should have been second and manageable turned into a near-impossible situation. Prescott's body language told the story immediately. Confusion, disbelief, and frustration crossed his face as he tried to process how that call had even happened. In a game where every inch mattered, that penalty felt like a hammer blow. The damage didn't stop there. As the third quarter unfolded and the Cowboys tried once again to build momentum, Prescott connected on what looked like another clean third-down conversion. This time, he found George Pickens on a play that appeared well executed and within rhythm. Once again, a flag flew. Once again, offensive pass interference erased the play. The reaction from Prescott was immediate and visceral. He could be seen shaking his head, visibly stunned. After the game, his words reflected what fans were already thinking. He said he had never seen calls like that. Two crucial plays on two pivotal drives wiped out by penalties that many believed were at best questionable and at worst game-altering. These weren't minor calls buried in meaningless moments. These were drive killers. These were momentum shifters. These were the kinds of penalties that don't just cost a few yards, they change the entire emotional direction of a football game. When drives die like that, the defense stays on the field longer, fatigue sets in, and doubt creeps into the sideline. For the Cowboys, every time they clawed their way back into striking distance, a flag sent them backward instead of forward. The Lions capitalized on those moments, and the psychological edge slowly tilted away from Dallas. Prescott's post-game reaction carried weight because of who he is to this franchise. He's not just the starting quarterback, he's the leader, the voice, the emotional compass of this team. When a player of his stature publicly questions officiating, it sends a powerful message. Traditionally, players avoid directly criticizing referees due to the league's strict stance on public comments. But Prescott didn't sound reckless. He sounded genuinely stunned. His words echoed what countless fans felt in real time, that these calls didn't align with the standard they're used to seeing on Sundays. This controversy now spills into a bigger conversation about the state of officiating in the NFL. In recent seasons, scrutiny on referees has intensified. With the rise of instant replay, frame-by-frame analysis, and social media breakdowns, every call is magnified. The league has tried to improve accountability through expanded reviews and internal evaluations, but incidents like this reignite doubts. Consistency has become the central issue. When fans see the same type of contact go uncalled in one game and get flagged in another, frustration naturally grows. And when those calls arrive in high-leverage moments, the uproar is inevitable. Adding another layer to this is the league's aggressive stance on fines. This season alone, total fines across the NFL have surged past historic levels, signaling that the league is closely monitoring player behavior and public criticism. Prescott now finds himself at the center of that tension, balancing his right to speak honestly with the risk of disciplinary response. The question lingers, should players remain silent even when they feel wronged, or is this exactly the kind of transparency fans deserve? Zooming out to the Cowboys season as a whole, this controversy lands at a delicate time. The team started the year with promise, flashing signs of being a legitimate NFC contender. Prescott's statistics reflect a year of both productivity and pressure, with solid yardage totals, a respectable touchdown count, and a passer rating that shows he can still command an offense. But the inconsistency has been real. Some weeks, the offense hums with tempo and confidence. Other weeks, it sputters, bogged down by protection issues, drops, and stalled drives. Injuries have complicated matters further, forcing adjustments in personnel and play calling. Jake Ferguson has become one of Prescott's most trusted weapons, especially in clutch situations. His ability to work the middle of the field, absorb contact, and extend drives has been a key ingredient in Dallas' offense. CeeDee Lamb, meanwhile, remains the engine of the passing game, commanding double coverage and still finding ways to produce explosive plays. When penalties erase their contributions, it doesn't just affect the box score. It disrupts rhythm, confidence, and trust within the system. Mike McCarthy and the coaching staff now face a defining stretch. Handling the emotional fallout from controversial losses is just as important as drawing up the next game plan. The locker room response to adversity often determines whether a season stabilizes or unravels. Will this moment fracture focus, or will it fuel unity? That question hangs over the team right now. Leaders like Prescott, along with veterans across the roster, play a critical role in steering the emotional ship back on course. From a tactical standpoint, the effects of repeated long-yardage scenarios created by penalties are devastating. Dallas' offense thrives when Prescott can operate on schedule, second and short, third and manageable, play-action opportunities. When drives are constantly pushed behind the chains, the playbook compresses, defenses become more aggressive, and quarterbacks are forced into higher-risk throws. That risk ripples through the entire team. Defensive players feel added pressure to create stops. Special teams must flip field position more often. One phase struggling snowballs into all three. Historically, the Cowboys are no strangers to heartbreak shaped by narrow margins and controversial moments. Past playoff exits, missed opportunities, and disputed calls still echo through the fan base. Each new incident adds another chapter to a narrative that feels unfair to some and unavoidable to others. This is why emotions run so hot when games like this happen, because fans have seen this story before, and they fear how it might end. Looking ahead, the Cowboys' remaining schedule leaves no room for hesitation. The NFC playoff race is crowded, ruthless, and unforgiving. Rivals like the Eagles and 49ers continue to apply pressure week after week. Every win matters. Every loss narrows the margin for error. And every controversial moment now feels magnified under the weight of postseason implications. Whether Dallas responds with renewed urgency or lingering frustration will define the final arc of this season. At the heart of it all stands Dak Prescott. His reaction to this game wasn't just about two penalties. It was about competitive fire, about believing that effort should be rewarded, and about the thin line between control and chaos in professional football. His leadership now extends beyond throwing passes. It's about keeping a locker room focused, keeping confidence intact, and keeping belief alive when circumstances feel stacked against you. For the fans, this moment cuts deep. Cowboys Nation is built on loyalty, resilience, and emotional investment. Victories feel like shared triumphs. Losses feel personal. And controversial losses ignite debates that last all season long. Was it the calls? Was it execution? Was it both? Those questions will echo until Dallas takes the field again and writes the next chapter. In the bigger picture, this story reflects a truth about the NFL that never changes. The game is as much about chaos and uncertainty as it is about talent and preparation. One flag can swing momentum, one decision can alter destiny, and one emotional response can redefine a season's tone. The Cowboys now stand at a crossroads, shaped by frustration, but still fueled by opportunity. Their path forward will reveal whether this moment becomes a rallying cry or a lingering wound. As this situation continues to unfold, eyes across the league remain fixed on how the NFL responds, how the Cowboys respond, and how Dak Prescott carries this moment forward. This wasn't just another Sunday. This was a turning point layered with tension, controversy, and unresolved questions about fairness, consistency, and control. The answers won't come from press conferences alone. They'll come from how this team lines up, responds, and fights in the weeks ahead.